welcome everyone. We're going to go ahead and get our ceremony started. And we're going to start with our choir.
We're going to start off with the dedication for each of the military branch. Our first branch, and if you remember or have a family in that branch, is the United States Army. United States Marine. United States Navy. United States Air Force.
Present. One. Both scholars. Forward. Forward. Left. Over.
Good morning, everybody. On behalf of the Hunter Chamber of Commerce, I'd like to welcome everybody to our Veterans Day ceremony. Next on the agenda, we have a very beautiful program planned. We have Student Council Head Girl Colby Engelbrecht. She will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, as well as Gianna Ayala. She will be singing the national anthem.
Please rise for the pledge. are inscribed on the Korean War Memorial in Washington, D.C. Our nation honors his sons and daughters who honored the call to defend a country that they never knew and a people they never met. Those words apply equally and to many of our World War I, World War II, Vietnam War, and Gulf War veterans as well. They apply to today's active duty service members, tomorrow's veterans, who are helping maintain peace throughout the world. Today, it is our privilege to say thank you to all of the American veterans, to let them know that we appreciate them for their service and honor them for their sacrifices. The price of freedom is high. We cannot afford to forget those willing to pay it. Today, we celebrate America's veterans for keeping this nation, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, now we'll hear a special music selection on Veterans Day by the junior and senior high choir. Silas, welcome. And can't wait to do that.
Thank you guys for having me here. I have an essay I wrote for a contest that I'd like to share with you, and it is Why Are Veterans Important? Veterans are some of the strongest people on the planet. They are walking examples of the highest degree of servitude. Some left their families and friends behind of their own free will, and some were forced to sign their lives over so that they could serve our country. Their sacrifice was not only of the body, but often of the mind as well, even after they came home. They are absolutely important in today's society because they are role models for this generation. They are the role models that will help form many lives that may follow in their footsteps and offer their own lives to this great nation. The main question that we should ask ourselves is not when, where, or how they did it, but why. Why would they risk their entire lives for their country, their home? It may have been a mission. Maybe it was for someone of kind of action. But I think the main reason is that they could show to others their willingness to die for their country and be that example to others to do the same. After any war, many soldiers come back and suffer from what is known as PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. They suffer from flashbacks of serious anxiety because of what they have seen, heard, and done. They have looked at the face of their friends dying on the battlefield. They have heard men screaming in agonizing pain, and very possibly almost died themselves. The fact is that they, willing or unwilling, are suffering for their country, even after they have returned home, and are giving an example of true service. Why? Because they chose to join. They signed up for everything, including the side effects. Not for the glory or the fame, but for their country and their families. For the future of the United States of America. Veterans are some of the best role models of servitude one can find. Some come home whole in body, but broken in mind, and vice versa. Some serve with such honor, valor, and undoubted bravery that they are rewarded with the highest honor, the Medal of Honor. This means that a soldier in combat went above and beyond the call of duty and risked his or her life in the service of their country and for a fellow combatant. The other highest honor rewarded is the Purple Heart. This is an award to a soldier in service who was wounded or who gave his life for his country. When a soldier signs up for the service, he knows that if he is deployed, he may not return. This knowledge that one may die is what gives a soldier that feeling of honor he feels while serving. This honor is why they have fought and what every soldier dreams of acquiring. Many soldiers have gone to war and fewer have returned whole. They have strength that some can only dream of. They have physical and mental discipline that can be incredibly strong. But the most important trait is that of their will. They don't simply walk onto the battlefield or into boot camp. They have to tell themselves they will. And, if need be, die for the country. And they have fully accepted that. They are ready to accept what needs to be done and do what is right when the moment comes. They may see death at its worst. They will see the worst side of mankind. But none of that will turn them away from their duties. Even when it gets tough, they will use every ounce of their mind to control their will. They will fight for this great nation to their very dying breath, if that is what it will take to save their country or keep it safe. Our nation needs its veterans. They are a strong pillar in the support of the armed forces. They have set an example before all. They have carved the pathway for this generation. They have answered the call for help from our nation. They have trained mentally and physically and prepared themselves for the worst. Some have paid the ultimate price or have come back home changed physically and mentally. Their stories will tell when, where, and how, but their very actions will answer the question as to why they would serve and die for their country. Because it is an honor to serve, protect, and die for one's family, friend, and country. Thank you, and God bless all veterans.
At this time, we would like to introduce everyone that made this possible, as well as recognize those in our community who've given their valuable time and put balls in their lives to keep us all safe. We'll get one big round of applause at the end. If you'd like to stand, you're comfortable standing. When I call your name, please stand and we'll give applause at the end. From the Junta Chamber Board of Directors, Ray Coleman, Roberta Calkins Mendoza, Amy Greta, and Julie Worley. For the Junta Chamber Veterans Day Committee, Adriana Perez, and Timothy Foster. The Junta Intermediate School Veterans Day Committee, Claudia Apadaka, George Ferguson, Caressa Brown, Lisa Pantoya, Paul Velasquez of the United States Marine Corps, Sheriff Sean Mobley of the United States Army. From the Veteran Clinic, Lindsay Corbins Mobley. From Southeast Health Group, Brianna Wright, Laura Hicks, Jennifer Polmar. From the American Legion Post-9, Michael Bredor, United States Army. Jackie Davidson, United States Army. Daniel Davis, United States Army. Rodney Gerhardt, United States Army. Ronald and Eva Keller, United States Army. Robert Hunterman, United States Army. James Bridwell, United States Army. Tom DeLitto, United States Coast Guard. James Thompson, United States Army. Claude Tomlin, United States Coast Guard. Richard Ward, United States Coast Guard. Richard and Elaine Whitman, United States Coast Guard. And our additional local veterans we also like to recognize William Erling Patterson, United States Navy. Andrew Martinez, United States Army. Jose Lopez, United States Army. Jerry Grubb, United States Army and Air Force. Matthew Patterson, United States Marines. We'd also like to recognize those who are no longer with us. Victor Altea, United States Navy. Cody Beasley, United States Marine Corps. Robert Calkins, United States Air Force. Joshua Patterson, United States Army. And Marco Lucero, United States Marine Corps. Let's give it back a round of applause.
Next, we would like to welcome guest speaker from American Legion Post-9, Tom Polito.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, children, my friends. Miss Glory and I want to say thank you for coming here today. We appreciate that. At this time, we would like to present an honorary award to the students that raise the flag and retire her every afternoon with the help of my friend here. Wood, Montana, Raritan, Deer, okay, Josiah Wallace, Annalise Martinez, and Lily Ojeda. Lily? Yeah. It says, the American Legion Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to these students in recognition of sincere appreciation of outstanding service to the community by helping with the national flag at Lahana at Intermediate School. Presented by Charles McCarroll, Post 9, Department of Colorado, this 10th day of November, 2022. Lily? Thank you, children. We appreciate that very much. I wrote a small speech here and I rewrote it many times, but it's about veterans and children. Veterans, and who are they? A veteran can be a person in law enforcement, a firefighter, medical personnel, maintenance technicians, or maybe teachers and staff, or a number of other people. Today we talk about military vets. All vets, no matter how they serve, deserve respect. As military veterans, we serve here in the United States and in foreign lands to protect their people from evil-minded leaders and their fellow followers who did not really care about their own people and others who live in fear of torture and death. A good example would be Vietnam, Korea, and Afghanistan. Right now, the Ukrainian people are fighting for their survival. Their children can hardly go to school because the schools are being destroyed, as well as their homes. There is little food and medical care because the hospitals are being destroyed as well. It's a terrible situation, children. What is truly evil, war is truly evil. Please pray in your own way that this and all wars will somehow end. The children here in the USA have the opportunity and the right to go to school to learn. So please, children, don't abuse that right by doing drugs, drinking alcohol, or fighting with other children. Equally important is disrespecting your elders like your parents and teachers. Please listen to them, for they have had the same problems and now have the right answers. Whether you're in kindergarten or college, your safety, your education, your health, happiness, and future means a lot to your families and, yes, to the veterans. You have the freedom to have and do these things partly because of the efforts of your veterans and those who are serving in the military now. You children mean more to me than gold. You're precious, and we need you to be good. For you are our future, and without you, we may not have a future. So let's make it a good one. So many veterans are suffering from disturbed minds and mangled bodies. We serve so that you and others could have the opportunity to live a better and safer lifestyle than so many others in the world. There is a saying amongst veterans, and that is, all gave some, and some gave all. The graveyard is full of these who gave all. Don't let our suffering be in vain. Please be good, grateful, and helpful to and for each other. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Michael Broder. I'm with the Charles E. McFarland American Legion Post number 9 right here in Lahana. I'm the post commander for that post. If you are a veteran, we would like to say thank you today. If you are a Vietnam veteran, welcome home. If you are a spouse of a veteran, I want to say thank you very much for your support for that veteran. And if you are a civilian, we want to say thank you for being the American that we all want to have. So with that being said, today, to make this event successful, I would like to recognize two people that are in the gym today. Amy Grajeda, Adriana Perez, please stand. So this is from the American Legion Certificate of Appreciation. But this is not, there's so many people that did a lot of work for today that are not being recognized, so I really want to say thank you to them too, all right? But I have to say, the two names right here to my left, this is the American Legion Certificate of Appreciation on behalf of Charles E. McFarland, Post 9, and all the veterans in the community. This certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Amy Grajeda and Adriana Perez in recognition and sincere appreciation for your outstanding dedication, for your tireless efforts and detailed planning, for your making this year's Veterans Day ceremony a memorable presentation. Colorado, November 2022, signed Claude R. Tomlin, Mike Broder. You guys have been instrumental to me. Okay? Thank you. All right, next. So, as you came into the gym today, some of you may have noticed, over to my left, to your right, I'd like to call your attention to this small table, which occupies a place of dignity and honor. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as POWs and MIAs. We call them comrades. They are unable to be with their loved ones and families. So we join together to pay humble tribute to them and to bear witness to their continued absence. The table is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner, alone against his or her suppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intention to respond to their country's call to arms. The single rose in the vase signifies the blood they may have shed and sacrificed to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. This rose also reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep faith while awaiting their return. The red ribbon on the vase represents an unyielding determination for a proper accounting of comrades who are not among us. A slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless volunteers of families as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty. They are not here. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors to the open arms of a grateful nation. The American flag reminds us that many of them may never return and have paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedom. Let us pray to the Supreme Commander that all our comrades will soon be back in our ranks. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifice. May God forever watch over them and protect them and their families.
Good morning. My name is Greg Coleman. I have the privilege to be the president of the 100 Chamber of Commerce. So in the next few minutes, you're going to hear me say two words pretty frequently, and that's thank you. And I want to start off by thanking Amy and Adriana and Auxilium for all they've done to make this event possible. It would not have been possible. This wouldn't have happened without their leadership and auxiliary support of them. So thank you. And I also say thank you to you all, to the students, the kids. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being and growing up to be model students and model members of our community. Thank you. Thank you to the teachers, the administrators, the support staff, not just in this facility here at the intermediate school, but all through our community at the primary and at the high school. So thank you to everybody that is investing in our children, because you are the future. Thank you to our amazing American Legion host that has really leaned into this celebration and has made it happen. So thank you. Most importantly, thank you to all of the veterans that are here today. Not just here in this gymnasium, but all across our community, all across the state, all across the country. We kids, we enjoy the freedoms and the liberties to go to a football game, to go to a movie, to go out to McDonald's because of what the veterans and all that are serving right now have done for us. And we owe them a huge debt of gratitude. And we say thank you. So, when I say the word thank you, we don't say that enough. We don't say that to each other enough. And we always say thank you when it's too late to say thank you, when somebody's not here to say thank you. So my purpose here right now is to say thank you to a veteran and a community leader that is no longer with us, Mr. Glenn Parker. A lot of you kids probably knew Glenn. Everybody knew Glenn. And the thing about Glenn was never, I didn't say thank you enough, and you didn't know exactly the impact that Glenn made on our community until he wasn't here. So we didn't have a Veterans Day celebration last year because that's what Glenn did. Well, Glenn wasn't here. And we dropped the ball. Early Settlers Day, Glenn did the main stage entertainment. We had to scramble to figure that out. Glenn did the sets. Glenn did the tickets at Picket Wire. They're scrambling to fill that hole. Glenn was instrumental in Operation Christmas Child. They're filling that void. You can never say thank you enough, and you can never acknowledge what people do. And when people are doing something, when your teachers are doing something, when your coaches are doing something, when your minister, your pastor is doing something, you gotta say thank you. Because at some point, they're not going to be there to say thank you. Glenn Parker was a veteran. He served in the United States Air Force. He loved Veterans Day. And I am so happy that with Amy and Adriana's leadership, we've created this event again. But it will never be the same without Glenn. And, come on. On behalf of the and the American Legion, we want to present, in loving memory of United States veteran William Glenn Parker, a life that touches others and goes on forever.
I don't talk a lot about Glenn because even though time tells me that it's been almost 2 years, my heart tells me that it was yesterday. So bear with me while I cry. William Glenn Parker was a lot of things to a lot of people. He was a father. He was a brother. He was a veteran. He was an outstanding community member. But to me and mine, William Glenn Parker Ayala was an extended member of our family. He's with us every holiday, every family function. He was the proudest Ayala in any room. When I worked at the Chamber of Commerce, Glenn quickly became my right hand. Whatever I needed, he was there. I never had to ask, and he never hesitated. He took on many things that he didn't need to because he didn't want to see me stress. He didn't want to see me have to do it by myself. Glenn has left a void in our community that many organizations will struggle to fill for a very, very long time. Glenn has left a void in my heart and in my family that I will never be able to fill. I miss him every single day. Hey, boo-boo, we miss him so much. Thank you.
All right, now we will ask Hannah and Josiah. They'll be doing the flag raising ceremony, and in closing, we'll be doing a moment of silence and taps. Okay?
James. James. Yes. Say something. They're going to do. We're going to play that. Bob. We're going to play that. Present. Playing that. Yes. Tap. I thought they were. No. Okay. Never mind. Right. Pitch. Forward, 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 forward.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you to our veterans. We do have a Veterans Day lunch for those veterans that would like to join us, and also for the community members. So thank you, and let's give one final round of applause to let them
For the American Legion, the La Junta Chamber of Commerce, and La Junta Intermediate School, as well as for the people of Southeast Colorado, I'm Adrian Hart with your Southeast Colorado News.